Hi, my name is Kath, I'm from Cardiff Lifeguard, and today we are going to be doing a demonstration video on basic adult CPR. Right, I'm Catherine from Cardiff Lifeguard. If you want to come in, we're going to do some CPR. If you want to stay away from each other, remember your social distancing, so if you can come and take the mannequin in the first corner first, please. We're going to do a brief introduction to CPR. Obviously there is a lot to do with CPR, but we're just going to do a brief video on CPR. What you might have done before was prior to COVID, so we have to change a couple of things because of COVID, so just bear with. When we did CPR before, some of it will still be the same. If we were to find somebody in this room collapsed on the floor, what do you think the first thing we need to do is?
Look for the danger.
Okay. Why do I need to look for the danger?
Because it could put us at harm.
It could put you at harm. And then we've got two people on the floor, which is not going to be helpful for anybody. Okay, so we need to check that it's safe for us first. How would we check it was safe for us first?
Look, listen and smell.
Look, listen and smell. If there was any danger in the room, what do you think you could do? We still want to help the person. What could we do?
Call for more help.
Call for more help, depending on what the danger was. Perhaps just go and make the phone call. That would be sufficient if it was too dangerous for us. If it was something simple, remove the danger and then approach the casualty. So we've got the adult, we've established that it is safe for us to come in. What do you think we need to do next?
Check they actually need help.
Check they need help. Might be somebody that was up all night with the children and has decided to just have a little sleep in a room, okay? So before we go up to them and actually touch them, we're just going to shout at them first. Hello, hello, can you hear me? Then we're going to go up to the casualty. Hello. Prior to COVID, we would check their breathing. Because of COVID, we're just going to have a look at their chest to see if it does rise and fall. So we are nowhere near the casualty. Obviously, I would have a face mask on, but for this demonstration and for me teaching you, I haven't got one on, so you can understand what I'm saying. Once we've established there's no breathing, what do you think we need to do? So the chest is not going up as it should, so breathing is not normal or not present. What do we need to do?
Call for help.
Call for help. So how can we do that?
Call out.
Shout out. What do most of us have now in our pockets?
A phone.
Mobile phones. The mobile phone can be dialed, put onto speaker as we're doing the rest of it. We also need to call for a defib because this is what this casualty will need. We have got one situated outside. If we didn't, the ambulance service will be able to tell us where our nearest one is. Either we could send somebody to get it because they will give us the code on the box, or it could be brought to us depending on the facility it's in. Right, so once we've established, what do we think we need to do to this casualty? CPR, do you know what it stands for? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So the way we're going to do hands-only compressions on an adult, we're using this part of your hand. It's going into the middle of the chest. Your knees are close and we're pushing from our shoulders, not our hands, because our arms are nice and straight. Try not to lean over onto your fingers because then you're pressing in the wrong part of the chest. And we're going to do 30 compressions. Do you know how fast we're going to do them?
The tune of staying alive.
There is the tune of staying alive. I need you to count out loud. Why would I need you to count out loud?
To keep you focused.
Keep you focused. Does also tell other people exactly where we are in our cycle. So we're going to go 5 to 6 centimetres down, which looks a bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. After 30, in normal world, we would be putting in breaths into the casualty. But because we've covered their face, we would then just carry on with compression-only CPR. There was an advert a couple of years ago with Vinnie Jones, do you remember? They brought one out then for the child, and they did hands-only CPR. So what I want you to do is I want you to come in as though you've just found the casualty, check for dangers, get used to doing that, and then go into your checks. Okay?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Hello, your eyes.
Yes.
Open your eyes. Can you hear me? Your eyes.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you've got no response there, so what do we need to have a little look at? So check first. Check what's wrong with him first and establish what we need.
Chest is not rising. Okay.
So what do we definitely need?
Help.
Ambulance, defib, mobile phone can come out. As we're phoning for those, we can get on with something else, which is what? Compressions only. How many? 30. Off you go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How do they feel? Relatively easy. What is the standard time that an ambulance takes in a built-up area to arrive at the scene for a casualty that is not breathing? Supposed to be.
Just under 10 minutes.
Supposed to be, Welsh Government guidelines, 7.5 minutes. Doesn't always happen. So 7.5 minutes is a long time to be doing it on your own, which is why we count out loud and hopefully somebody else will be able to come and assist us. Okay, right, we've done adult CPR. We're going to move on to junior CPR. What do you think would be our problems that we would come across with a junior? Are we likely to find them lying in a room on their own?
No.
So what is going to come with a junior in this scenario?
So worried parents.
Worried guardians, worried parents, worried nans, aunties, whoever has brought them to the scenario wherever they are found. So we do still have to check for dangers for ourselves, but more than likely somebody is going to come and get you and drag you to, do you know first aid? Can you come and help, please? What do you think we would need to change to do with the junior that we did on an adult?
They're probably going to be a lot more frightened.
Okay, so they're unconscious,
Oh, right.
so they might be frightened, but we'll establish that when they come around. What do we need to do with those? What do we do on an adult with our compressions? We use 2 hands. Do you think on a junior this size, 2 hands would be appropriate? No. So what could we change? We could go to 1 hand. So because of COVID, we're going to do exactly the same. You would still come in and check for dangers, so we get into a habit of making sure it's safe for ourselves. Come in, check for dangers, still shout at the junior, hello, can you hear me? Down next to the junior, hello. No response. Again, we're going to have a little look at the junior. We could put a cloth over their face. If the chest is not going up as it should, then we are going to do what? Call for help, because we need what?
An ambulance.
Ambulance and a defib. We know we've got one outside. The way we're going to find the place on the junior is exactly the same part of the hand you're going to use. You look at the middle of the junior's chest. I would suggest you put 1 hand behind your back so you get into the habit of doing it. Hand goes into the centre of the chest, and we're going to press down 1/3 of the chest cavity on a junior. So just be careful when you do it the first time, because it will feel a little bit strange because there's not as much resistance as on these. Again, close into the casualty, straight arm, and how many do you think I'm doing?
30.
30 again. What song could I sing in my head if I wanted to? Staying Alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay? That will calm you down. This is going to be extremely stressful. What could we use if there are other members around to help us with?
You can swap out after each cycle.
You can swap, but I'm thinking with people that could be around this person, what could we do with those?
There may be other children around and other like stressed out people, so you want ideally to get someone to deal with them and prioritise their care. And
Yes, so I wouldn't suggest clearing the whole room of guardians because you're not likely to get rid of them, okay? But everybody else could be cleared out of the room, out of the scenario. And then somebody could spend some time just explaining what was happening to the casualty in front of you. Happy with that? Right, I want you to have a go again from the top as though we're getting into the habit of checking for dangers. Off you go.
Hello.
Safe to approach, and you come.
Hello.
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 Open your eyes for me.
Hello.
You can hear me, open
Hello.
your eyes. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Can you open your eyes for me? Hello. Can you open your eyes for me? Hello.
We've had no response from that, so just have a little look at the chest. Is it going up and down normally?
Help.
Okay.
No.
No, it's not. So what do we definitely need?
Help.
Calling for help.
Calling for help, calling for
An
a
ambulance.
defib as well. Ambulance and a defib. Okay, off you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29, 30.
Okay, well done. Right, what could we use to put over the casualty's face?
A piece of clothing or something.
You could actually use your scarves to put over their face so that we are protecting everybody. What, with the children, because they're coming with somebody, could we ask the guardian that is with them to do?
Rescue.
They could, because they're from the same household, if you could, depending on how stressed the guardian is, they may be able to do the rescue breaths on the casualty.
How many would that be? 2.
So if we were going to get them to do it, we'd get them to do 5 initial breaths. We would do 30 compressions, and then they would do 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2, 30. But again, that does depend on how comfortable everybody is because of COVID. If they don't wish to, or they're too stressed, then hands-on CPR is how we would do it. Happy with that? Excellent.